안녕하세요. Hello. Today's the 7th of August 2022 and today in my K-drama world I would like to teach you the art of K-drama seduction part 1, probably part 2, 3, 4, 5 as well, but part 1, the art of Korean K-drama seduction. Number 1, produce an umbrella when it's raining. Yes, folks, as simple as that, to seduce the lady that you love, or stroke man, but mostly lady. You suddenly appear behind her with an umbrella and save her from getting a little bit wet from the rain. I don't know what it is about Korean rain. I think it must be some kind of nuclear fallout stress about it, because it seems in every K-drama there's a big deal about getting wet, and it's like every corner stand sells an umbrella so you don't get wet, unless the hairdressers are really expensive in Korea, so you just don't want to get your hair wet. I don't know, but that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, treat each other really badly at the beginning. Really don't like each other. A bit like when you're at nursery, you would maybe kick or hit the person that you used to fancy because you're a bit shy. Do that. Be really horrible, absolutely horrible to your prospective loved one that you really want to seduce. That apparently is a good way to get on the right side and end up marrying the person of your dreams.
무슨 소리야?
며칠 전에 꿈에 네가 나왔거든. 날 침대에 앉혀놓고 네가 막 이렇게 해. 난 확실히 욕구불만 맞아. 인정.
조용히 안 해.
나랑 한번 잘래? 왜? 언니 파이팅. 대박.
적당히 하랬지. 수작도 정도껏 부려. 나 네 장단 맞춰서 춤춰줄 여유 전혀 없거든.
여유가 없단 거지 춤출 마음이 없단 건 아니네.
멋대로 해석하지 마.
왜 그렇게 재미없게 살아? 그렇게 참고 놀아다 병나. 놀고 싶으면 놀아야지. 너 놀고 싶잖아.
네가 나에 대해 뭘 알아? 뭘 아는 척 자꾸 함부로 까불어?
위선자.
사기꾼한테 제대로 당한 적 있으신가? 남자한테 당했구나. 에휴, 얼마나 듣겠어? 뭐야? 넘겨 싶었는데 진짠가 보네. 야, 남자 조심하세요.
너 지금 무지 재밌지? 나도 무지 재밌어.
그래?
응, 기대해. 내가 너 꼭 탈탈 털어서 네가 어떤 인간인지 다 까발려줄 테니까.
그렇게 합시다.
뭐?
그렇게 해줘요. 기대할게. 프라이버시는 좀 지켜주지. 빤스를.
하필 주한항공이야.
거점 본다고 무너질까. 백 팀장 그럴 사람 아닌데.
Another thing to do if you want to seduce somebody ladies, particularly ladies, or gentlemen actually, is that you somehow cut yourself or hurt yourself or get into a fight and get bruises all over yourself, and then if you want to show that person that you know are really care about them, you suddenly produce a suitcase full of plasters, Savlon bandages, ointments, iodine, tablets, energy drinks, and you take great pains in cleaning that cat scratch, and you blow gently on it. Apparently that's a huge turn on. And kind of dab a little bit of ointment, that kind of, you know, sends them wild apparently. Then you get a big plaster, slap it on.
진짜 어떤 썩을 놈의 새끼들이 이랬을까 진짜.
있어 그런 놈들.
다음부터 나 불러요. 나 유단자잖아요. 4단. 아프겠다. 조금만.
살살.
반대쪽.
당연히 버렸을 줄 알았는데.
아니 청소하다가 구석탱이에서 튀어나온 거야. 봐줘. 봐줘. 아파. 아까 맞은 데가, 아유.
괜찮다면서요. 이게 괜찮은 거예요?
야, 이렇게 험한 꼴을 당해봤어야 알지. 그래도 뭐 이 정도면 방어는 잘한 거 아닌가? 아까 봤지? 14대1. 야, 남한준 전설 하나 만들었다.
으이그 하여간. 남한주 씨 많이 아파요? 봐봐요 좀.
아프지 그럼.
Number 4, fall over and fall into your loved one's arms, or the one that, or vice versa. You know, if you're trying to seduce a lady, you know, maybe keep an eye on her and hope that she trips up, and just be in the right place to catch her and then look at her lovingly, like when you're doing a bit of a tango. You just kind of stare into her eyes, and then you can hear the heartbeats, thump, 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 as, you know, you fall in love. It's as easy as that. And if you're half naked, like just for some reason you're in the same hotel room, you know, not for sexual reasons, but for, you know, maybe your partner's a little bit worse for wear, so you brought her up but you've accidentally, you know, trodden in cow shit or something. Then if you've just come out the shower, in fact, here's a clip.
뭐야? 달리씨? 달리씨, 뭡니까? 무슨
다리씨, 다리씨! 다리씨? 다리씨! 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 오!
See, it's easy as that to seduce your partner, but I was waiting for something more to happen after that clip, but it didn't. Breaking a heel. Women wear really shitty shoes. Apparently Korean shoes must be really terribly made, because it's a well-known fact that you break a heel every 5 minutes. So many women seem to break a heel, and then you can A, give her a piggyback so she doesn't get her feet wet, B, run to the shops and get her a pair of slippers, which is also something next to the umbrellas apparently that every Korean corner shop stocks. C, you can go to the market and buy her shoes and, you know, a bit like Cinderella, slip the shoes on. D, you can take your own shoes off and give them to her and walk bare feet, or you can give her a piggyback. That's always a bonus. Did I say piggyback already? Well, give her another piggyback. So you could do that. I would personally prefer to walk bare feet, but you know, maybe then there would be the perfect opportunity to tread on a stone or a piece of glass, and he could then carry you all the way home and dress that foot for you, or to the hospital. Either one or the other they do. So number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Get into some situation, some precarious situation, that you're in somebody's house where you shouldn't be, and hide in the cupboard together. Or if you're in the office, you know, you can avoid your boss who you don't like, and you know, hide behind a partition very closely. Even though you're in a big wide space, you can squash up to each other. You could maybe jump into a stationery cupboard or something like that, and you know, be very quiet and make sure you breathe on each other. That's a good bonus.
이쪽.
아이 무자식 이거. 아이고 다리. 아이고 기운 없다 인마. 아이고 그래. 이놈 어딨어? 당장 나오라 그래.
회장님, 직원도 듣겠습니다.
너 이 녀석한테 전해. 금이양 다시 만날까 아니면은 약속대로 다시 선 보라고.
회장님, 일단 진정하시고요.
진정은 이놈아. 아우 어지러워. 아 기운 없어. 가시죠. 참 자식.
나 좋아하지 말아요. 더는 다가오지 말아달란 얘기예요.
하리 씨가 걱정하는 일 일어나지 않게 내가 노력할 겁니다. 그러니까 내 옆에 있어요.
This is a good one. Fall asleep next to your partner, or not partner, but your prospective loved one, fall asleep so he can gaze at your sleeping face. You know, maybe you're in the car together on a business trip, and on the way back you feel quite tired, so you just drop off. Try not to stick your tongue out and get drool coming down your face, and then he can park up outside your house because he was that much of a gentleman. He actually drove you home rather than to the office car park, and he can stare at you lovingly.
아참이 일어나. 잠은 집에서 자야지. 오늘 밤도 잠을 설치겠어. 너를 좋아해. 오늘은 내게 말할래. 나의 모든 세상이 너로 가득하다고. 난 분명 죽을 힘을 다해서 너 깨운 거다. 절대 너 잠든 얼굴 보고 싶어서 이런 거 아니다.
Equally, you can pass out drunk, and he can stare at you, gaze at your face lovingly, or he can pass out and you can stare at his face lovingly when he's asleep. Always find some excuse to fall asleep so they can really, you know, take you in and decide, yeah, I actually quite fancy her, him, her, you know, so do that.
조심.
여긴 어디예요?
어디긴 넌 임댁에 왔지.
응? 여기는?
왜긴 들어가 잘라고.
자? 우리 둘이 같이?
너님 혼자요.
응.
잠깐만.
응?
너 술 깼지?
응? 안 깼어.
이런 미친.
아프다.
아프냐? 나도 아프다.
아프면 안 되는데, 정아리 씨.
나츠막히 건넨 인사가 마지막 인사일 줄 상상 못했어.
정아리 씨.
Then another one is for a woman, somehow either be super strong and do kung fu and you know, kick everything in sight impressively, and yet be extremely feminine at the same time, or be ridiculously cute and vulnerable. Apparently that's quite nice for a Korean gentleman to have a vulnerable lady. You know, maybe you're an orphan, you know, or say you're an orphan, even if you're not. You're an orphan, or I don't know, got gummy knees. I've got gummy knees. I'm so cute. I've got gummy knees. I'm so vulnerable. You need to help me. You need to help me get down the stairs. You need to help me. Kiss my knee and put a plaster on it for me, please. I'm so. This is what they do. IGO, it's called. Sweetness. I mean, but some of them do this, which I don't realise means fuck off in English. But do this. Sweetness. I don't know why people don't do this more often. I think it's quite fun. Anyway, so you can be quite sweet, and for a man you have to be emotionally vulnerable. Maybe right at the beginning you're super grumpy because, you know, you're a bit broken, maybe you're heartbroken, maybe you're just grumpy, but grumpy, but you have a soft heart, but nobody knows that really at the beginning, and then you kind of melt and become this wonderful man who everybody wants to marry, apparently. But so a guy has to be emotionally vulnerable, and it's usually the fact that the rather mean man gets the girl, and the one that's really nice, who's a millionaire and who treats you like a queen, they kind of get dumped. Which there was one series, I can't remember what it's called, I shall remember and put it here. I was really disappointed in that series because I wanted the other guy to win the girl because he was nicer and more handsome, and the dark-haired guy really pissed me off and annoyed me. So I kind of stopped watching that after it became obvious she wasn't going to go with the nice guy. Then another thing for women, eat like a pig, really stuff your face, even get it all over your face so he's got an excuse to wipe it off. Eat like a pig, but don't put any weight on, because if you're fat they don't want you. Eat like a pig, and they say, oh, you eat well, don't you? Oh, look, she can eat well. And also a thing apparently in Korean culture, to express and show that you fancy somebody or like somebody or love somebody or care for somebody, they have many side dishes when you eat, and so you would pick the best piece of meat, not for me obviously because I'm vegetarian, so you could pick the best vegetable dumpling for me please, and you put it on their dish, and that shows that all the people on the table will go, oh my God, he gave her a piece of meat. Oh my God, that must have been there in love. And so do that. So don't get fat. Maybe, I don't know how you do that. Maybe you have to go on a big run afterwards, after you've eaten like a pig, and then you really don't need to be fat, because apparently, well, what I can make out from K-dramas and watching K-pop and watching some vlogs and things where people get interviewed on the street, it's fine to wear a mini skirt that is so short you have to make sure you wax. And to be honest, I wouldn't wear a G-string with those mini skirts. Well, I wouldn't wear a G-string anyway, but those mini skirts are so short, any little curly bits could be seen, because when you sit down everything revealed. But apparently, I keep saying apparently today, apparently it's a little bit of a faux pas to reveal a shoulder or your arms or your top or your chest or your back, but it's okay to show your legs up to your crotch. I find that bizarre. I find that absolutely bizarre. And maybe all Korean ladies have gorgeous legs. I certainly don't. They're my worst feature. Coming from Eastern Europe, they're terrible dumpy old legs, so I would look absolutely vile in a miniskirt. So I'm doomed. No Korean pop star or K-drama love will want me. Still, I can do all the rest though. I can do all the rest, and I can try. Another thing is to wear sleeves that are like, bell sleeves, like the old medieval. I love them. I think they're so feminine. But equally, if you operate heavy machinery, I wouldn't advise wearing them, because they'll probably get caught in a cog, and you could be dragged into the machine to your death. It's also quite bad, when you've been to the toilet, when you're wiping your bum, the sleeve could get in the way. If you're cooking, doing a bit of cooking, the sleeve could catch fire and you could get horribly burned into a crisp. The sleeve could get caught in numerous things into the zip of your trousers. If you're wearing trousers and you would zip them up, it could get caught and you could be stuck like that for a long time until you found a pair of scissors. Lots of things could happen. If you like me, don't drive your car very often, you have to open the bonnet, put a jack on to boost up the battery. You could get caught in the fan belt. Could be a horrible situation and ruin your car at the same time. So anyway, that's a tip, but be careful when you wear those sleeves because they are dangerous. What else? A bit similar to getting cut, get sick, you know, as your relationship progresses, if you really want to test whether, you know, you are going to go anywhere, get sick, get COVID and see what happens. See if he rushes you to the hospital in a panic, you know, carries you on his back to the hospital and puts you in hospital and sits next to you with a bowl of water, cold water, and dabs your forehead. If he does that, then you're in, and vice versa. Gentlemen, if you get sick and your lady sits by the bed, you know, brings you porridge, which is basically risotto, I think in Korea it looks more like risotto than porridge oats, then if she looks after you, then you're on a winner. I'm kind of a little bit selfish when it comes to people being sick. I kind of just like to say, take a bloody tablet and get on with it, because it annoys me when people say, oh no, I don't want to take medicine. Take the bloody medicine and go to work. Unless you've got COVID, of course, then don't go to work. Although having said that, it's all gone a bit mad, isn't it? Nobody cares anymore. Everyone just goes out without their mask. You know, coughs on people, spits on people. I go out with my mask. I don't want to catch it. Anyway, what else? When you are up to the dating point, then maybe you'll take her to an amusement park. Go to an amusement park in your 30s. Go to an amusement park. Pixie, I'm not taking you to an amusement park. No, I'm not. I'm not taking you to an amusement park. Who wants to go to an amusement park? I'm not going to though. Eh? So yeah, take them to an amusement park. You don't necessarily have to go on the rides, but and you know, try not to vomit when you're on the Big Dipper. Yeah. And go to an amusement park, or to where else do they go? To the cinema. To the beach is a good one. Going to the beach and falling in love on the beach. That's always go for a day trip to the beach, or to an orphanage to do some charity work. That's also something. Some place that you can fall in love. Yeah. Then if you're a man, learn how to cook and cook dinner for your lady. If you're a lady, it's quite good if you don't cook and you're a bit rubbish at it, because they think that's cute. If you make a really horrible omelette or something with a lot of salt, apparently that's quite seductive. Another one is in the car to seduce your lady. You sit there, and a lady. This is a good thing. Are you going to go, Pixie? Go away. Go on, off you go. This is a good one. You sit there. Don't put your seatbelt on. Don't put your seatbelt on. And the gentleman then reach over seductively. And so she thinks, oh, he's going to kiss me. He's going to kiss me. Oh, I'm going to get a popo, which is Korean for kiss. I'm going to get a popo. And then don't kiss her. Just kind of waft near her, and pull the seatbelt and put the seatbelt on for her. That's very seductive. And then finally, the first kiss. The first kiss is usually quite a sterile kiss. It's a bit of a peck, really. It's a bit of a peck. It's not really a good snog. It's a peck. It's like, sometimes they don't even move their lips. It's kind of very irritating. And look, like this. You do this. Ready, Pixie? You're going to bite me though. That's a Korean kiss. That's your first Korean kiss. It's literally, I mean, sometimes they don't even pucker their lips up. They just like press lips together. And I think Korean people, Korean producers, Korean directors, you've got to sort that out. It's really, really, you know, I watched the other day Backstreet Rookie with the divine Ji Chang-wook in it, and I think there was a big hoorah about it, because he was about 30 and she was a schoolgirl, and first of all she stopped him in the street and asked him to go and buy them cigarettes, because they were a little bit, you know, they're a little bit naughty girls, and in their school uniform. So they asked him to go, and which he didn't. Of course he didn't buy them cigarettes, but you know, they kind of fell in love at first sight. And even though he kind of didn't quite fall in love at that time, but she ran up to him in a flying sort of, you know, Crouching Tigers, Sleeping Dragons, no, what was it? Crouching Tigers, everybody knows that film that I'm talking about. And she flew through the air and gave him a big smacky kiss on his lips. And even though it wasn't really, you know, it wasn't really that sexual at all, he was like, didn't move his face at all, and she just gave him a big sort of peck on the lips. And apparently loads of people phoned in, because you know it was underaged, but she probably wasn't underage. She was probably 18. She was 18 because a couple of years later she goes and works for him in his convenience store, and she's 21. So she was 18 or 19 and he was 28 or something. So I mean, it's not that bad really, is it? And anyway, so loads of people rang in and complained, and they were warned because apparently they air the oh, you're making me sneeze, Pixie. You've got one of your hairs up my nose. Can you sit there, please? Apparently they're still shooting stuff when episodes go on air, so they were warned that they mustn't do things like that. And so throughout, when he was 30 and she was 21, 22, and they were working together, as the romance developed, there was no kissing. There was no kissing. There was, you know, a lot of stares and, you know, heartbeats and stuff. But there was no, even at the end, they were just about to kiss, and then they turned to the camera. So it was so disappointing. So, sterile kiss, I'm not too sure about the sterile kiss. I do think maybe you could do something a little bit more erotic, you know, suck a lip or something, I don't know, a little bit nicer, a little bit better than a sterile kiss. So that's it really. That's my K-drama Art of Seduction part 1. I hope that was funny or interesting or of some kind of value. Alright, so annyeong, have a lovely day, bye.